Hey there folks, Joey DeAngelis here with another episode of Silent Film Saturday, continuing with our Lon Chaney December. I'm finally reviewing Todd Browning's film, The Unknown, which is actually not only my favorite Chaney Todd Browning film, but it's also probably my favorite Todd Browning film. It's from 1927, tells the story of Alonzo the Armless, who really isn't armless and actually has a recognizable double thumb. And obviously this character is played by Lon Chaney. He pretends to be an armless knife thrower, and he is in love with the lovely Nanon, played by Joan Crawford, who is actually afraid of the touch of man. And this is kind of symbolized in the character of Malabar, played by Norman Carey, who you may remember as the other part of the love triangle in The Phantom of the Opera, as well as The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, he's had experience with Chaney in the past. Eventually, Alonzo murders Nanon's father. She recognizes the double thumb but does not recognize Alonzo. So, Alonzo decides he must amputate his arms in order to win Nanon's affections. And also, keeping his cover. So, it's a very bizarre movie in that sense. It's weird, actually, for a few different reasons. First off, the movie is about 50 minutes long because there are some scenes that are missing, but you can still follow the story for the most part. There's just certain things where it's like, oh, wait, that's a weird jump cut. Oh, there are like 2, maybe 3 instances where that happens in the film, but overall it flows very nicely, and I think it's well made. In that regard, the cinematography is also interesting, in that it looks like, I remember Michael F. Blake saying in the commentary, talking about like Fiddler on the Roof and this movie, The Unknown, where they would put like a stocking or something, like a nylon thing over the camera lens, and it would look different, and obviously it would make the image look different. And some of these, my favorite scenes of the film, are actually the shots in the film are with Nanon in her little, in the room. She's just standing there looking out the window. It's just beautiful shots in this film of just that, and it looks great. The film is weird in the sense that it deals with abnormalities and defects. It's very much, makes me think it's kind of a precursor to Freaks in that sense, but not really, because it's not like the main characters the actors playing the main characters in real life are not infected individuals or anything of that nature, or don't carry genetic defects, excuse me. But it's just a rather perverse film, because it's like this guy is, he's in the circus, he commits murder, he's the double thumb, pretends to be armless, but he's not, and then he goes off and gets his arms amputated. And actually, one of my favorite scenes in the film is where Chaney realizes that it was pointless that he amputated his arms, and it results in this fantastic tour de force by Chaney. This is one of my favorite performances by him, where it's essentially this like a medium, like almost a close up of him, and he's just kind of like laughing hysterically at the fact that all this effort he put in was for nothing. And that's what really gets me with this film, and I think those are a couple reasons why I like it. I like Chaney's acting in the film. I also think Joan Crawford does a fine job in the movie as Nanon. Norman Carey is Malabar. He's always, the capable, the third part of the love triangle. So he does a fine job in that respect. The musical score is also appropriate for the movie. It's not a TCM score. I mean, the package is, of course, from TCM, like I said, the Lon Chaney collection. But the score itself is actually part of a different group. I forgot the name of the group. Escapes from the top of my head, but the music is fitting for the atmosphere and the tension, particularly when Chaney, realizes his huge mistake at the end of the movie. One other element I'd like to mention is that there's a lot of scenes where Chaney's, you see Chaney using his foot, and that's actually not really his foot. That's another performer's foot, and it's so seamless, because you just see Chaney from up here and you see the foot, but it's just so perfectly synchronized It works so well. There's only like one or two instances where you see the actor playing Chaney's feet open the door and he kind of steps back and then Chaney steps forward. But even then, it's very seamless. So I definitely recommend The Unknown. The Unknown might be my second favorite Lon Chaney film beneath The Phantom of the Opera. But even The Phantom of the Opera I enjoy mostly because that was the film that kind of set me on this path. The Unknown is a spectacular, incredibly underrated silent masterpiece from Todd Browning featuring a tour de force performance by Lon Chaney. Next time I'm reviewing the film The Show, directed by Todd Browning and starring John Gilbert. That will be January 10th when Silent Film Saturday returns. See you guys next time.